NaNoWriMo is over. Hard to believe, but it feels only fitting to have our final video be a little bit of a coffee chat. So let's talk. We did it one way or another, whether you made it all the way through the month, whether you got 10,000 words or 100,000 words, we did it. We made it through another busy month of writing. And again, remember that the whole point of it is just to get yourself writing, to stop trying to be perfect or wait for the perfect moment or wait for there to be more time. Sometimes if you really want to do this and you really want to be a writer, you're just going to have to sit down and do it messy and make mistakes and trial and error and have people hate it and have people love it and you hate it and you love it and go through all those emotions and all those ups and downs, because that's what we do as creators. And you know, sometimes I lament the fact that Nano takes place in November because it's such a busy month with the holidays and travel and being towards the end of the year when I really just want to be planning, which we're going to talk about today. But sometimes I also think, but that's the work, right? Is we have busy lives all year long, and there's any month that we could make excuses as to why we're not getting our writing done. And sometimes those excuses are valid. It is very difficult to create when a family member is sick or when you're in a car accident or when you have COVID. There are going to be times in our lives where creation is difficult, but there are also going to be times when we could be creating, a lot of times, every day almost, where we could be creating, but we choose other things because it's easier. We choose other things because we're busy. But to be a writer, to be a creator in this day and age, it's a choice, it's a decision, it's a dedication. And for some of us, it's truly a passion and we couldn't live without it. But it also can sometimes get drowned out by the easier things. It's easier, maybe less pleasurable to a degree, but it's easier to scroll social media. It's easier to get back in bed and read a book. It's easier to even sometimes do the dishes or the laundry that needs to be done than it is to sit down and do the difficult work of facing all of your fears of inadequacy, of facing all of your fears that it'll never be good enough, that it's not going to come out on the page the way that it was in your mind, of the fears that we are never going to have the right audience, or that we can't keep this up, or that we just aren't going to ever be good enough. We face those fears that we don't really know what we're doing. Sometimes we face the discomfort of sitting down and doing difficult, deep work that really nobody can help us with. We can meet together on sprints. We can meet together in person. We can help each other. We can encourage each other. We can teach each other. We can learn from each other. But in the end, writing is a solitary thing. You sit down and you write, and it comes out of your brain through your fingertips or through your mouth and into a lonely document that most of the time no one else is reading until long in the future. And so sometimes we have stretches of time where it's just us and this story. And it's almost like our own heroic battle against getting those words on the page in a way that we think is going to resonate with readers, that is going to mean something to them, that really matches the genre we're trying to write. This is a complex, difficult thing that we're trying to do. And, you know, in a world where truthfully, like, I know we have difficulties in this world, but we also have so much ease. And you know, we have machines that wash our dishes. We have running water, most of us. We have internet. We have all these amazing things that really make our lives easier. And sometimes because we have these easy lives, something that feels difficult or uncomfortable is, you know, it's got to be something we do with intention because we love it and because we're looking forward to the result and the outcome that it will bring. And it's not always an easy choice, but that's kind of what November always does, is it brings us back to this decision that I'm going to make the choice to prioritize my writing. And whether your end result is 50K or not, that's not really the point. It's exciting, and congratulations to all our hearties who did it, but it's not really the point. The point is getting over the fears, getting over the discomfort, and showing up for your story, because your story matters and your story is going to make a difference in the world. And as long as you don't give up on it, you will learn how to craft that story into something that people will love. And somebody someday will say, that's my favorite book of all time. And the only way to get there is to go through the discomfort and come out the other side. And some days are just going to be harder than others. So that's my little bit of a rant here. It was funny because I'm recording this on December 1st because I decided not to record yesterday. I just needed a break. I was working on the HB90 planners, which I'll talk about in a second. But I kind of fought George over, give me the Kindle Scribe, because he was like, no, you don't get it till December 1st. And I was like, no, I get it as soon as I hit 50K. So he gave it to me. He was just joking anyway. He gave it to me and then I didn't open it. Because I started thinking, I want to open it kind of on camera. So we're going to open it now. If you have not heard of this is my 50K reward. The Kindle Scribe is the world's first Kindle for reading and writing. So it comes with a little stylus and it has the e-ink display, but it's kind of like a tablet. And a lot of authors that I know are sending their rough drafts to their Kindle Scribe and using it for editing. And I think that that's pretty brilliant. Now, I do a lot of my stuff in Google Docs, so I'll still be using that, but what I'll probably do is export the Google Doc as a PDF or whatever, and then upload it to Kindle Scribe, make handwritten notes as I'm reading, because it'll be so much easier to read here than on the, regular computer screen. And then I'll go in and make the changes. But for my final edits, like with beta readers and stuff, that'll still happen in Google Docs. So it has this cover on it. So let's take that off if I can get it open. Here it is. So it has the little Amazon logo on the back, and then it has one side that is a little bit more of a holder, and I'm guessing similar to the Kindle Oasis that you can probably turn it either way. Yeah. So the screen will actually flip upside down so that you can always, whatever hand you're holding it with can have this longer side, which is the way the Kindle Oasis is. And I love that Kindle. So I am in the United States. So you choose your region and everything else, and it is setting up the Kindle. So while that is going, it also looks like little tips that come with the stylus to replace them. And then you've got just a little message that says hello. And it tells you, I guess, kind of like meet your Kindle Scribe. So it says premium pen with an eraser on the end, which is digital. There's a shortcut button similar to most pens, power, USB-C port. And then it just says to activate it, power it up, follow the screen instructions, and you're good to go. So then there's a description of how to replace the tips. And then you've got a little package here that has the USB-C, no charger brick though. And I feel like nothing comes with those charger bricks anymore, but I probably have like 5 of them anyway. So here is the pen. There it goes. There's a little eraser tip and the little point tip. Very cute. It's very matte feeling. You know how the back of this Kindle actually feels like plasticky, but I think it's a Kindle Paperwhite or something, feels very like matte. That's what the pen feels like. And so let's see, set up on this Kindle or your phone. I'm probably going to do this later, but I don't know. It comes out of the box at 48%, it looks like, and it's going to want to connect to my app. So I will do that later. I'm so used to the iPad, like it magneting onto it. I don't think the Kindle Scribe is going to do that. So, oh my gosh. It actually does. So similar to the iPad, it magnets on, which I love because I would have definitely lost my Apple Pencil if it wasn't for that. So that is awesome. Then I also bought with it a case for the Kindle Scribe that, as you can see here, kind of will allow it to sit up a little bit. It's like a little stand. So let's get this open too. Just rip it apart. Okay, so it is a pink kind of canvas sort of feel to it. It says Kindle on the back, and then looks like you just put it right here. Just maybe that is magnet too. I don't know. It's staying in there, so I think that might be a magnet too. And then the top of it is this kind of multiple bendy thing so that you can bend it like this, and that way when you're doing stuff, it will kind of sit up, I guess. It sits up. I don't know if you guys can really see that. So it kind of sits up a little bit so that you can just use it like a little tablet. And then you've got a little pen case here, and I think it's a smart cover so that it turns the Kindle off when you close it, so you can save your battery. So you could leave your pen here or put it in the pen loop. Super cute. This canvas, I'm not sure I'm going to love, because I would prefer to put stickers on the back here, and I'm not sure how well they'll stick to this bumpy surface, but we'll see. I'm going to try it out for now. It's super pretty. So that is my 50K reward. And, you know, I don't always reward myself throughout the year, but I had mentioned before that George and I are trying something new. We didn't do it this month, but we've been trying something throughout this year with setting smaller deadlines for me throughout the year, where I can say to him, like, okay, Act 1 is due to him to read by Friday night. And we set that date together of something that feels realistic for where I am. And then we set a price for it. So for example, you might say, if I get Act 1 to you by Friday night, then you give me $100, and it could be $5. Like, it doesn't matter what amount it is, but let's just use 100 because it's an easy number. So if I actually turn in my manuscript to him as if he were my editor, low stakes editor, then I get $100 moved from our family account or my business account or whatever, moved from our family account into my little Sarra checking account. And that checking account that I have is specifically for just sort of fun money for me. It's for vacations or going to Seven Brew and getting a coffee and other things like that. And we have a little bit that comes out of our budget every month just for that sort of fun money for each of us. And that's also where we buy each other gifts and just little fun things on vacation or whatever. So I will be able to move that money over from our regular account into that $100 into my account. If I miss that deadline, then I have to move $200 out of my fun money account into his fun money account, which he often uses for investments like Bitcoin and stuff like that. So in the end, it's just kind of low stakes because we're just transferring money that belongs to both of us anyway. And it's eventually going to go into savings or, you know, something else for the family, or maybe it'll be for George to buy a Kindle Scribe, who knows? But it gives me some kind of accountability to say, like, here's this. And if you get it, you get rewarded. And if you don't get it, then you get double the sort of, it's like carrot and stick, right? And I've been trying it and it has been helping. But as we know, like, I'm not done with my book. So let's talk for a minute about what's next. And we're also going to talk just for a second about the planners and stuff for HB90. Okay, so part of what is coming up next is planner season. So I am very excited. My plum paper planner, which is not spiral bound, but is disc bound, and it doesn't come with, I can move it in like a happy planner, right? You can move those around, will be here today. I ordered it a while back and it's just coming in today, but I am so excited to actually sit down and set up my planner for 2024 because I am making some big changes. I have my A5 binder here, and I love these binders, but I'm actually going to be switching from the A5 binder size to the Happy Planner size for my HB90 planner for next year. So I'm very excited to share that with you. I am planning at this moment, we'll see if the planners actually come in. I feel like a lot of my mail has been delayed. Maybe they're just kind of overworked. So shout out to all of our postal workers and delivery people who are working so hard right now. Like, we very much appreciate you. I am excited to set it up, and I'm hoping that this Saturday or Sunday I will put up my 2024 planner lineup, which I'm very excited. I love making that video every year. So that's coming soon. But then in the grander scheme of things, I am going to spend quite a bit of December not only talking about it here on YouTube, but also in my own life, planning for 2024, I feel like 2024 is going to be a pivotal year for me. There have been some things that have come to light this year in terms of my own personal preferences and desires of how I want to live and how I want to feel that have kind of ignited what changes I want to make in 2024, but I haven't had a chance to sit down and like strategize that out. And so I am very excited to sit down with that. And what I'm going to actually do is I bought foam board from Staples or Office Depot, I think. The big foam board, like poster board foam board, about 4 of those. And I'm going to set them all out and I'm going to put Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and I'm going to put calendars on there. I will share this whole process with you. And I'm going to sort of plan out or sketch out a rough plan for what I want to do next year, because I have big plans, but I know there's no way I'm going to be able to follow through on them if I'm not really taking care of myself, getting more help. There's certain things I know need to be into place that I need to think a little further out than just Q1. So I'll be doing that long-term kind of next year planning. And I'm also going to be doing some more long-term daydream. And I'm going to share that process with you as well. And there will be a mini course, we'll call it a mini workshop, probably a 2-day workshop on long-term planning. If you have taken the HB90 bootcamp, you will get a discount on this course, but it will be less than $100. So it's not going to be a super expensive course for anybody who wants to come with me on this journey of how do you plan for like 3 to 5 years in a business where you have to also be flexible. So I have some ideas for that. I was hoping to run it here in December, but I think I'm going to open the course in December and we're going to run it in early January. Also, just speaking about next year plans, Publish and Thrive, which so many of you have asked about, which is my course on how to self-publish your book, will be opening January 20th, and we will start the course, I believe, February 4th. So that will be a 6-week course. I will be running it twice next year. So get in January if you like. I will also be offering the bundle and all of those things. So we'll talk more about that later. HB90 is open right now, and we'll be starting our kickoff call December 10th. Let's just pause all the other conversation. Let's talk for just a minute about the HB90 planners. I am going to be offering more versions of the HB90 planner than I ever have before. Sadly, not a printed version, but there will be more versions of the Q1 planner than ever, because there will be a Monday start, a mixed start, which has Sunday months and Monday weeks, like typical Erin Condren or Happy Planner American planners. And there will be a true Sunday start as well for the first time ever. There's also going to be a task block version where the weekly spread has a place to track your task blocks and track your time. And then there will be a notes version that doesn't have that task block sheet. Instead, it just has a dot grid notes section. So I'm going to be putting up a video that sort of explains and walks you through all those changes. And when you purchase the planner, which will go live today on Friday over on Etsy, they will be 20% off for this first week that they're on sale. So go grab it now. But when you buy that, now all of the options will be in that one download. Instead of having one product that is a Monday start and one product that is a mixed start or whatever, it's just going to be the Q1 planner. And inside that download, you'll get access to all the different versions. And there will be a video there at the top explaining what all the different versions are, because it's like 24 different versions of the planner, because there's a daily and a weekly version and all that. And I'm going to explain it to you so simply, and you will totally understand, and it'll be easy. So those are coming out today. The goals planner, which is the yearly workbook that has the goal setting pages for all 4 quarters next year, won't be out until next week, because I got to work on that this weekend. But we also have Double Down Day coming up on Saturday for our Heart Breathings writing community. So come join us on Saturday for that. It's going to be such a fun month, and I honestly cannot wait. But that is the planners. That's kind of the situation. If you join the HB90 course starting now through December 10th, we will close registration at noon Eastern on December 10th, and we'll have our kickoff call that day. The live call is that live kickoff call is the only live component. And otherwise, you can take the course totally self-paced, and you get lifetime access to the videos. You will also receive a free Q1 planner for this round of the course. So come join us. There's so many great people already in that class, and I cannot wait to work with you, as well as all the alumni who of course get to take it for free every single quarter. So that's the updates, the businessy updates, but let's talk about what's next for my writing. In terms of my writing for next year, Disappearance of Vanessa Shaw is for sure my number one priority. It's so close to being done. I can imagine that it will be done over the next couple of weeks, especially now that I won't be doing daily videos. I can just really hone in on those final edits. Then you can see I got the rest of my books in. So I got another 200 or 300 books in yesterday. So we've got all 500 or so paperbacks, and I need to get those signed, and I'd love to get them out so that people have them for the holidays. So George and I are going to start setting all that up and signing them this weekend. I will be doing a full vlog on how I did that book signing and how I handle taxes and other things like that for anyone who's interested in it. And next year, I will also be hopefully setting up, I should say, I have plans to potentially, because I don't want to narrow myself in before I've done my planning for this, but I want to put a Shopify store on my main Sarra Cannon website so that I can offer not only t-shirts and swag and mugs and other things like that, but also signed paperbacks, ebooks, audiobooks. And that's another fun thing that I'm working on in the new year that has already started, which is audiobooks of my Shadow Demon saga. So Kylie Stewart, who is part of our Hardy's community and is a very talented voice actress, she's done anime, she's done over 300, I think, audiobooks. She's just an incredible narrator. She came into my reader group during the Spooktacular in October and read the first, or one of the first chapters of Shadow Demons, Beautiful Demons. And oh my gosh, everybody was like chills, crying. She's going to be such a great harper and I cannot wait. And she just sent me a message a couple of days ago that the first book is done in recording and it is now in post-production. So next year I'll be rapidly releasing all of the Beautiful Demons series, and I'm going to be completely self-publishing those. I'm not going through ACX. I'm just paying for those out of pocket, and I will be putting them through like wide. So they'll be at iTunes and Audible and Findaway and my own website and Spotify and lots of other places. So lots of exciting things coming for next year. I'm going to have more swag designed. I'm going to be doing more social media stuff, more appearances next year. There's just a lot on my plate and it's all really exciting, but I think you can see why I'm so ready to like sit down and really start plotting it all out, so to speak, in terms of my schedule for next year so that I can make sure I'm not overdoing it and that I'm getting the support that I need, not only emotionally, but like physically. I want to add more exercise into my regimen because I think that's really going to help not only my endorphins and my mood, but also my energy. So I've got lots of things that I'm thinking about for the new year that I'm excited to explore. And then once The Disappearance of Vanessa Shaw is done, as promised, even though I didn't get to it during Nano, I will be sharing with you my entire process for plotting out A Mirror of Shadows, which will likely be my first subscription offering on Ream Stories. So I'll talk about that more, and we'll be talking about that more in Publish and Thrive as well. And I will be sharing with you how I'm plotting out all the episodes, how I'm planning to actually produce them, how I figure out the plot, because it's not exactly the same as just writing a novel. It's a little different when you're doing serialized fiction for most of us. It's like you can kind of figure out your own process, but I'll share with you my process for that. And I'll talk about getting cover art for it and how I'm planning to set up my tiers for the subscription. So that's going to be fun coming up. I don't know if that video will go live before January, but I'm going to be already starting to record that before the end of the year. So those are kind of my two big projects right now: Disappearance of Vanessa Shaw, A Mirror of Shadows. I'm also rereading my entire Shadow Demon saga with annotated notes. And now that I have this puppy, this is where I'm going to be taking a lot of those notes of things that I want to make sure are threads that I follow through into the final book of the Shadow Demon saga, and things that I don't forget to wrap up in the final book. Because while I'm working on A Mirror of Shadows, I'll also be plotting the rest of the final book in my Shadow Demon saga. So those are kind of my biggest desires right now. Depending on how long it takes me to write that final book, it might take all of next year to write it. And I'm going to give myself that room and that space if I need the entire year next year to write A Mirror of Shadows and the final Shadow Demons book. But if I could, I would really love to also get the final book of The Eternal Sorrows finished. And then I also have book 2 of The Witch's Key, which is called The Witch's Door. And I don't know if I can do all of that. I've had years before where I have written 4 books, but I don't know if next year is going to be that year, because if I'm going to also be putting a store up and audiobooks and Kickstarters and a subscription, I have to be realistic about my time, unless I'm willing to give up YouTube, which I'm not, by the way. But I will probably be trying to marry those two things, where I say more of my YouTube channel will just be sharing with you what I'm doing in my author career, because I also have a big project called Project Phoenix, which is all about like redoing my backlist. I'm not going to redo all of my covers, but I will redo some of my covers. I'm actually rewriting one of my books. I will be redoing all of my blurbs and a bunch of other things, and getting some promotions going again. So I'm going to share that stuff with you. So I hope you're excited for the new year. I hope you're excited for the writing that's coming up. I hope you're excited for all the planner content. It's going to be a wild ride. So I once again want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming here to listen to me talk, for letting me share my journey, for being a part of the journey, a part of this incredible community. And I just love you all so much. And I'm grateful every single day that I have you in my life. And I can't wait to share all the fun things that are yet to come. So good job on Nano. Great job in 2023. And let's now move into reflection period, where you really give yourself credit for the things that you've done this year. And let's start dreaming of what's possible in 2024. All right. New video coming soon on those planners. They will go live on Etsy today. And also a new video coming up on my planner lineup, which I can't wait to make. And then I'll see you Saturday for Double Down Day. All my love. Great job on Nano. Let's keep this energy flowing. And I'll see you later this week. Bye.